All new episode of the Pro Wrestling Show. Man, we have a lot to talk about from the Raw Ring Report, as Braun Strowman's injury is still uncertain. Will he be able to compete at TLC against acting general manager Baron Corbin? And also, Baron Corbin gives Alexa Bliss a new job promotion. You won't believe that. And on the SmackDown side of things, we have a lot of going on where implications about the SmackDown Women's title picture is very clear. And a litany of hot topics. So let's get the show on the road with the Pro Wrestling Show. Starts right now. Hi everyone, welcome to an all new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Diggs. Here on this weekend, we're on the road to Christmas. Thank you all for watching. Use that hashtag right here, PSW, Pro Wrestling Show, for stands for on Connect TV. Alright, let's get started with the Raw Ring Report. On the Raw Ring Report, Raw kicked off with a bang where acting general manager Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley alongside Leo Rush opened the show as they bragged about the damage they did to Braun Strowman after leaving him in a limb. Well, Corbin had said that the match was still going to be on for TLC, as he knew that Strowman wasn't going to be able to be healed on time. Well, Strowman did deliver a message that he was going to get his revenge on all three with, he like to say, get these hands. So it resonated with the whole crowd, and so the crowd knew that eventually them three, what they did to Braun Strowman, they're going to pay for it in some sort of way, some sort of fashion. So therefore, Corbin focused his attentions on other things rather than tonight he was going to go against Finn Balor, and then he was going to have he got interrupted by Elias, and Elias had his match against Lashley. That didn't end so well for Elias, as the powerful almighty Lashley defeated Elias, and with the help of Drew McIntyre and Corbin doing the same damage they did to Strowman, they did to Elias, leaving him off land. So we don't know what this new faction is going to bring to WWE on the Raw side of things. Alright, meanwhile, Corbin gave Alexa Bliss, after she was an integral part of the Survivor Series as team captain for Raw with the clean sweep, Corbin named Alexa Bliss to be in charge of the women's division on Raw. So thus far, Alexa Bliss used her power and influence to have some sort of open forum with Sasha Banks and Bayley. For anyone that asked the WWE superstar, anyone from WWE Universe can ask a question. I knew it was a plant all along. I didn't know Mr. Anderson's plant or something like that. But hey, it is what it was. But they got beat up by the Riot Squad and I think that's Mickey James and Alicia Fox. So they kind of knew what was going to happen. So it was a lot of things going on with that storyline. And then also Nia Jax did her championship history, where she talked about her history with Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey should expect when she gets her face broken by it was just before it was good. But then I felt like how Bully Ray felt like, make her, Mark Henry said, one of the two, saying you want to make her do an impact, have her sprawl against Ronda and have her knock a security guard out, knock him out, and it's like she knocks me out too, that make him look like she seems like she's a badass. Same like with Ronda. Speaking of Ronda, we'll talk about now hot topics on what could her future plans be in WWE. Well, we know that Ronda and Nia will meet for the Raw Women's title at TLC, so it should be unfinished business for that particular matchup. Also, Dean Ambrose didn't show up for Raw, but he goes to the doctor's office to get a flu shot. So Ambrose talking about he doesn't want to be near the crowd in Milwaukee. He doesn't want to be near coming into Houston next week. So Seth Rollins looked for that confrontation with Dean Ambrose, but instead that Seth Rollins was in a open challenge for the Intercontinental title, where he defended his title against former rival Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler and him had a phenomenal matchup like they did this past year, going on this year. Seth retained his title, but he's still looking for retribution from Dean Ambrose. So we'll see on that. Well, speaking of that, Drake Maverick gets the last laugh, and I mean, he who laughs last laughs loudest. Well, Drake Maverick caught wind of when Rude and Gable made fun of him last week about him pissing on himself at Survivor Series. Well, WWE took it to another level as Drake Maverick peed on Rude's robe in the bathroom, costing Rude and Gable the opportunity at the World Tag Team titles. So I guess like Drew Maverick said, Drake Maverick, he who laughs loudest. So he got his ultimate revenge and thus far. So you got to wonder about that too. Hey, with the after effects. We also learned on Raw that Braun Strowman injury, he won't be able to compete in Mismatch Challenge, where what's his name, Kurt Hawkins, will team with Ember Moon against Jinder Mahal and Alicia. Now, could all that hard work Ember Moon had done go up to waste? And it did, after what's his name, cost Ember Moon their match. And the PPU dive was a low tier on top of the tier, where Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox defeated Kurt Hawkins and Ember Moon as Kurt Hawkins try to pin Alicia Fox, which that ain't the rules of Mismatch Challenge. You got men versus men, women versus women. I think he forgot that memo. He was just so obsessed with winning a match that he couldn't win a match. Alright. And finally, the main event was Finn Balor goes one-on-one against acting general manager Baron Corbin. Any other normal, decent matchup. But he thought at the end, Corbin turned it around, made it a handicap match with him and Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre got the win. So they did the continued beatdown. Lashley came out, so all three men stood tall, closing Raw. So, hey, it is what it is. And on an interesting note, Raw had its lowest viewers that week, lowest ratings. And then another fan wrote that Raw wasn't tweeted to WWE, Mr. McMahon, about he's frustrated about Raw not living up to his potential. So, hey, it is what it is. So, hey, you gotta do WWE looking at like, hey, we run this, like, we listen, but we still gonna do what we want to do. So, hey, to each his own. All right, that does it for the Raw Ring Report. Let's move on to the SmackDown Ring Report. On the SmackDown Ring Report, Paige, the SmackDown GM, introduced the long-awaited debut of Becky Lynch, the Women's Champion, who didn't make an appearance since before Survivor Series, where she was slated to meet Ronda Rousey. Becky Lynch made her appearance and made it clear that she's back and she's going to take anyone out who gets in her way. Charlotte Flair came out and talked about how she fought with Becky, how she sided with Becky, how she was for Becky. But things turned in an instant where Paige decided that these two women will meet at TLC in a table, ladders, and chairs match. First time ever. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. That's they sparking the women's division real up. But the SmackDown women's roster took issue to the fact that why Paige would have Becky Lynch and Charlotte again. They wanted to be in the mix as the winner in the women's title picture. Well, Paige fixed that solution where she booked a battle royal. The winner would be added into the women's TLC match at TLC for the SmackDown Women's title. And long as you will know, we will tell you later down the road. We don't want to get too much clues. But the Usos beat the tag team champions, The Bar, and may earn themselves a tag team title shot down the road. So big up to the Usos winning. I think the Usos and The Bar, That's gonna likely happen in TLC because the SmackDown Tag Division is more better than the Raw Tag Division. I just hate to say that. So the Miz and the New Day changed words, and the Miz sets up a match between one of the members of New Day, and it turned out to be Kofi Kingston. Miz lost that, and he got scolded, and Miz went to the back and tried to scold Shane McMahon about being a team player and talking about them being parents to the best in the world. And I'm kind of like, that is kind of like the oddest, strangest thing ever. But hey, to each his own. But is that coming that we thinking Shane McMahon gonna turn heel, but it's likely Miz gonna stay heel because Miz need that heel edge. We don't need to see a babyface Miz because it doesn't do no well. I think I like the Miz as heel. I like Shane McMahon as a babyface. So it gives Miz to be frustrated at Shane enough to challenge him and call him out down the road. So they want to go with that storyline. I don't think they should. All right, AJ Styles made his appearance ever since losing the championship to Daniel Bryan, and he sent a message to the new champion that he's gonna he told him that, hey, whatever you did, I get that you wanted the gold and stuff, but hey, you could have done it a rule fair and a mannerable way, but instead you did it the wrong way, and that's why I'm coming for you. And I think this gonna be more promising because AJ promised to win back the WWE title from Daniel Bryan. Let's just see if he can get it back, because Daniel Bryan is on a new leash on life. Because Daniel Bryan figured that, hey, I'll do anything what it takes to be champion. And I think that was Miz was trying to resonate with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan at first didn't get it, but then he got it deep down and living in the chamber, whatever you want to call it. Also, speaking of title matches, in another title match, Shinsuke Nakamura ambushed Rusev before the match even got started. Well, Shinsuke Nakamura, playing devil's advocate, just knocking Rusev off his game. And I think they're going to go into a rivalry within itself with that. So, also, Jeff Hardy celebrates 20 years of being a WWE superstar. All the people from the front, from the back, came out to applaud and thank Jeff Hardy for his contributions to WWE, and well it's served that Jeff Hardy does, until he got interrupted by Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe crossed the line trying to talk about his abuse to drugs in a way. So we don't know what this gonna go, but it's gonna be Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy. You remember those days in TNA when they fought each other? So glad to see that back into the forefront again. Glad to see. And then finally, the match that the Battle Royal, you had everybody. You had Naomi, the winner of the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. You had Asuka, the winner of the 2018 Royal Rumble. So it was a lot going for stakes. But at the end, Asuka wins, and now Asuka gets added to the mix between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, who was watching at ringside. So now Charlotte must be winding her ears. Becky Lynch might be winding around her ear, because Asuka looking to get rebuilt and looking to end 2008 on the way she should have begun 2008, where she won the Royal Rumble and she could end 2008 becoming the SmackDown Women's Champion. Alright, that does it for the SmackDown Ring Report. When we return, we're going to have more. We're going to have Hot Topics and the Impact Wrestling Report, Ring Report. You don't want to go nowhere. This is Pro Wrestling Show. Stay tuned. Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix. Use that hashtag Pro Wrestling Show here to join in that conversation here on Connect TV. Glad you're here. Let's get to Hot Topics. On Hot Topics this week, Fox, the Fox Network, the Big Fox, one of the big four, they reportedly wants Ronda Rousey to be a part of the SmackDown brand when WWE moves to Fox next fall. Man, that's like now they gotta figure out how they're gonna do the superstar shakeup, because that's gonna have to happen like that. So they Ronda Rousey, that was the biggest sell, because Fox looked at her athleticism, her credibility, and her total package of becoming that sports star that they look at. So it's gonna be a tough dilemma for WWE, but hey, they'll figure something out. Also, Silas Young is expected to re-sign with Ring of Honor. There was a lot of rumors going around that Silas Young was going to leave the promotion and join WWE after he was seen backstage this past week on Raw. To going through the details, but we don't know. But now it's true that Silas Young is going to stay with Ring of Honor to be a part of that big man Square Garden show. Also, Kevin Owens wants to fight a living legend. Not reunite. It's Elton John. Elton John and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Well, Kevin Owens said that Elton John had canceled his tour nearby where he lives, and Kevin Owens was displeased with that because him and his wife was on their date night to go to see a show, and all of a sudden KO called out Elton John. I don't think Elton John ever responded back, and KO said that he fought men in his 70s like that. And I guess he was referring to Mr. McMahon after that brutal attack last year. So, hey, what could it be? All right, WWE signs Walter. And many of you might know who Walter is, an independent wrestler out from England, Germany. But WWE been trying to get him for so long. Now they finally have him, and Walter didn't want to leave the England countryland to go over to the States. But now, at the NXT UK is getting into its own, Walter might stay and join NXT UK, and it might end up branching out, going to what people are rumoredly heavily considering NXT Germany, that might be built around Walter. So big ups to WWE and big ups to Walter to sign with the company. Also, Kairi Sane develops a viral infection. That's why Kairi Sane wasn't in the NXT TakeOver the tapings this week, because of her affection with her mouth and her hands. There's rumors going on. So, Kairi Sane, feel better. We hope you get back, because you're a great, tremendous athlete. Alright, CM Punk says that wrestling is not on his radar no more. What he means by that is he doesn't think about wrestling. He doesn't want to be a part of no wrestling. After there were reports that the Young Bucks and Cody are partnering up, reportedly, with the Jacksonville Jaguars owner. His last name is Khan, and they're going to start this promotion called AEW, and it's called All Elite Wrestling. So, hey, the details are getting more clear. We'll find out, like probably in the early part of the year with that. So, let's look out for that. And maybe CM Punk might consider. He says that he ain't going back to WWE. That's not a given. So, nobody cannot match what WWE has. So, CM Punk, now I can see if the Bucks want to start something else, because he does keep in close with the Young Bucks, so we'll see on that, how that goes. Also, Stone Cold Steve Austin says Ric Flair is the greatest of all time. Who ain't gonna doubt that? He said it on his podcast, so hey, no one's gonna doubt Nature Boy Ric Flair is the greatest of all time. He's up there. He's up there in the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, to my standards. Also, we here at the Pro Wrestling Show send our condolences to Edge, for his mom has passed away. We see Edge had got his beacon of light due to his mom, and we here send our condolences to the radar superstar on the passing of his mother. I want you to believe this: Donald Trump. Well, hey, Donald Trump, but he gets the news all the time on different platforms. Well, former Governor Jesse Ventura says that he could beat Donald Trump in presidency. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. The Democrats got to find him a challenger. Jesse Ventura, just his own challenger. So he's saying that Trump wouldn't stand a chance. And I remember when Trump, before he became president, he was at WrestleMania 20 in 2004, and Jesse Ventura was the one that itched the head to Donald Trump to say, "Hey, you need to run for president. I'll be your vice president." Now all of a sudden you want to run against the man. Hey, it is what it is, man. Yeah, man. All right. Speaking of that, we got big news that Major League Wrestling, their flagship show Fusion, will air live on December 14th after its founder Court Bauer released on Twitter, took to Twitter and said that it's been finally coming. So is this gonna be permanent basis, or is this just gonna be on one time only special every now and then, occasion, like how Impact was doing? But hey, who knows? Because when you go live, it costs a lot of money. I'm telling you. All right. John Cena to receive Sports Entertainment's Muhammad Ali Award, Legacy Award, for his contributions to wrestling and contributions being the sports sphere. So big ups to John Cena on that. Also, James Ellsworth, we haven't talked about the situation that he was caught texting a underage girl and could be suffering ramifications down the road. That's why he had a show, and knowing the wrestlers don't want to be part of it. So Ellsworth, on his own, I guess. So let's hope everything works out for James Ellsworth. And also, 2 WWE stars were robbed after SmackDown tapings. We know that former Cruiserweight champion Cedric Alexander was robbed, and I think one of the members of Lucha House Party was robbed. So, hey, can't keep your stuff when it's the holiday season. So everything's people looking for a way to take, not to give. It's real sad. All right, that does it for Hot Topics this week. Let's go over to the Impact Ring Report. On the Impact Ring Report this week, man, oh man, Impact is on the road and momentum towards their pay-per-view Homecoming, and they had a lot of showing as we found out that LAX wants to put the goal on the line against the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, for the World Tag Team titles. So Lucha Brothers accepted, but after they found out, they told Conan wasn't too happy, too keen about his boys, and then his boys that from MLW. You gotta look at it like that. Conan make his money. Conan wasn't too keen on it, but hey, it what it is. We'll see how this match progress. This is a change of attitude between Conan, because I would have loved it if they would have had them and then put the OGs in the mix of that. Come on, blend the storyline right there. They had a pass with them, then they got come on. Also, Leila Loca, Hitaru Valkyrie, was in action. She defeated her opponent, but Tessa Blanchard came from behind and attacked her with a sneak attack, and Tessa Blanchard took her around to the referee, who got attacked as well for calling Tessa out. Tessa showed him until Gail Kim stepped in and tried to be the enforcer. But we can't give no spoilers right now, but we will tell you down the road, probably next week if something goes down, that Gail Kim will have an integral part in this Knockouts Championship match in some way or somehow. Between the rematch from Bound for Glory, where Taya went against Tessa. Hopefully Tessa gets it. No, Taya. I meant to say Taya gets it. Also, Eli Drake continued his spew on what he wants to do, and he's the last dying breed of wrestling. And he went against Tommy Dreamer, and he defeated Tommy Dreamer. He used his own maneuver, and Tommy Dreamer kicked out of that. And Eli Drake had to go to resorts to get a paddle stick or something and knock Dreamer out in the chair with it. And he defeated Dreamer. He got, at the end, he caught a message that I thought was like the It character. You know how the It became a splash. So we don't know. But Drake knows what was written in that letter. We'll have to see when we find out. And finally, the World Championship. They've been doing a lot of promos, vignettes between challenger Brian Cage and champion Johnny Impact. But interesting part was Killer Cross came up to Impact and told Impact what he needed to do and how he can help him with Cage. But Impact didn't want his help, didn't need his help. So we don't know what's going on with that. But it's a lot of intriguing things going on with this homecoming. It's a lot. Even with Kiara Hogan mentioned that Allie is not the same, but she saw that Allie's there. It's just Allie joined the dark side. So it's a lot going on in Impact. But like I said, we're gonna get to it real soon with that. So we bring back the Impact report. All right, that does it for the Pro Wrestling Show. I have been your host, Kid Dick, saying so long, and we'll see you next week here on the Pro Wrestling Show.